Hello. Let me position myself so you can see. Okay. Hi, welcome. If you're watching this on YouTube, welcome. Oh, wait, forgot to one more thing. There we go. Then welcome. So the original idea for this was that I realized that you don't know who I am. You don't really know what my tastes in video games are. So I wanted to have a chance to tell you about what games I like and what games I don't. But I have some strong feelings about the way that people talk about video games. And I want to first show you the metric by which I am ranking these games. Also, here's the full list of games that I'm going to be reviewing. This is every game I've played enough to have an opinion about them. I don't know how fast I'm going to get through these. I know that I'm definitely not getting through them in one night. But here is the basic premise. I think you can measure your opinion of a game by three metrics: the body, the mind, and the soul. Or the id, ego, and super ego, if you're a nerd like that. The basic gist is that a good body game is, well, here, I'll talk about them in reverse order. Soul is your personal opinion. It's what drives you personally. It doesn't matter how much, how bad the game is. If you love it, then you can be high on the soul tier list. Then there's mind, which is just your professional, academic opinion. That's the word, of the thing. So personal opinion aside, how good do you think it is in the long term, that sort of thing. And then there's the body, which is just the physical experience you have while experiencing the game. I know that might sound a little bit confusing, but I have some prepared examples, just to start us off. I have a 10 on 10 for each of these. Starting with body, a 10 out of 10 in body is let me get my keyboard out. Okay. Borderlands 2. The actual experience of playing Borderlands 2 is great. You go in, you shoot stuff, you get awesome drops, and the dopamine hits you right in the brain, right? It's awesome. It's a great time. Everybody loves that. But I have some strong opinions about it otherwise. I think that for the mind, it is a 3. It is. I find this game really rough. I think that it doesn't have that much going on story wise. It's it's just not that deep. I find that the actual gameplay mechanics are a bit manipulative. It advertises to have a million bajillion guns, but they're all kind of the same guns with different features slapped onto each other. And then sometimes you have some funny names and stuff like that. I don't know. I don't think it's as a game, I don't think it's all that great. And then my personal and my soul, this game is terrible. It's a 1. I hate Borderlands 2 personally. I hate its story. I hate its setting. I find Claptrap to be incredibly annoying. I never found him funny at all. So that's that's an example of a 10 on 10 for body. Playing it in co-op is a fantastic experience, and just shooting monsters with guns and seeing what random stuff you can get is great. It's a great time. But otherwise I hate it. Okay, then a 10 out of 10 for the mind is, you might notice a trend here. but Fallout New Vegas, it's a 10 on 10 for the mind. Brilliant game, incredible writing, super smart, like ludonarrative stuff going on with the mechanics for your character and how you build them. Excellent game. Lots of opportunities to affect the story in meaningful ways, and yeah, great stuff. The body experience is, I would say, it's pretty good. It's maybe a 7 personally. It's a first-person shooter, and it's got some pretty solid mechanics. Nothing crazy. The VAT system is fun to use, and especially when you get a nice crit, you get some of that dopamine flowing through you. It's a good experience. I think it's held back a little bit in that, like, a lot of the game is kind of just spent wandering around, and that isn't exactly the most physically stimulating experience. You just kind of hold forward on, or hold W on your keyboard or what have you. Yeah, so it could be better, could be worse. It's doing its job though, so it gets a 7. And for me, for the soul, I give this a 3. I want to love it so badly, but I don't like the desert. I don't like the American desert. I have a similar issue with Borderlands 2. But at least it's not making me cringe out of my mind with the dialogue. I wish I loved it more, but I can't get past it being in the desert. And I find that when I'm walking around in the desert, I am losing my mind, and I hate it. And then a 10 out of 10 for the soul is the .hack GU games. I love the setting so much, and the aesthetic and everything it's doing with that. I love the characters and the way they look and act and stuff like that. And I've always dreamed of having like the perfect MMO game, but it's just never happened in the way that I've always wanted it to. Or single player MMO game. I want that concept to work so badly, and I feel like the closest we've gotten was like Xenoblade Chronicles with how it works, but like I want it literally set in an MMO. I think that would be awesome. But for the mind, it's real bad, man. Let's see here. I have to, yeah, there we go. Okay. It's real rough as a mental experience. It is so tropey, and like it's power fantasy. It's not great. It's pretty rough. It's very grindy. Oh, and like I don't know. I don't think it's a good experience in terms of like mental stimulation. I think it's a bit better for the body. It's still like bad gameplay, I would say, but it's at least like fun in the sense that like doing something multiple times is fun, and that like you get to slowly see your progress go, and you get to see number go up, and it works really well, and it's fun for that. There are definitely better games, but there are certainly worse games also. It gets a 4. It's okay. But I hope that those are some good examples on how this is gonna go. Now here's the thing: the order of the games that are on the list below are randomized. I have no idea what we're gonna get, except for the first one. I know what's first, and it is Pac-Man Fever. If you're not familiar, here, let me. It is a here. Let me. It is a Mario Party clone. Yeah, this video is good. Turn that off. But it's a very bad Mario Party clone. that is like bizarrely slow when you move. Like look at this. Look at how strange she walks and like goes to the next thing. The character roster is bizarre and uncanny. Like you've got two Tekken characters. You've got Astaroth. I don't even remember who this is. And the two Pac-Man, or Miss Pac-Man. It's bizarre. It's a weird game. It does not work very well. So let's see. I think as a Mario Party clone, it's really, the mini games are terrible. It's, for a body, I give it a 3. It makes you wait a lot for no reason, and like it's a, yeah, not a great, like just a bad Mario Party clone is for that. For the mind, I think it's even worse. Well, yeah, I give it a 2 for the mind. It's not a good look. Like the knowledge that that Mario Party exists basically invalidates Pac-Man Fever. Like, why would you ever play Pac-Man Fever when Mario Party and there are other similar games that are just straight up better, both as board games and mini game collections? It's not great. Don't recommend it. Okay, and then Soul. Honestly, I think as just a bizarre experience, I give it a 5. Like, I'll give it a 6 actually. I kind of have a soft spot. No, 5. I have a soft spot for it. It is weird and strange, but I like it. Even though it's like pretty ugly. Yeah. Okay. Next, Inside. Ooh, here, let's go back to body. Let's see, Inside. That is a indie platformer. That's just an absolute classic. It's got horror elements, and it's got really just tight platforming. It's not like mechanically doing anything super interesting. It accomplishes what it sets out to do, and so it gets a 7. Basic puzzles, stealth, platforming, that kind of thing. Mind, oh, excellent. This gets a 9, maybe, yeah, a 9. I feel like it doesn't have like that like thematic thing going on that it maybe could have, but is otherwise just like, it tells its story really well, and it's nice, and the horror is really hitting. It's very horrifying. It's got an excellent plot twist at the end. Great game. And then for me personally, the cinematic platformer just isn't really my thing. I appreciate Inside more than I like and enjoy it myself, I would say. I'll give it a, I don't know. I'll give it a 7. I like the aesthetic a lot. I think that carries it a lot for me. Okay, next, X-Men Legends. Oh man, this is pure body experience right here. That gets an 8 for sure. It's like a 4-player Diablo, but you play as X-Men characters. It's so good. It's pretty brainless, but you have just like an awesome time just killing enemies and exploring dungeons and all that sort of stuff. I have a real appreciation for them doing something like that on a console. That didn't happen very often. I appreciated any RPG that I got my hands on. That was especially ones that were kind of outside the box, like that one. That one, along with Baldur's Gate Dark Alliance and that kind of thing. So yeah, it's an 8 out of 10 on the body. Mind, I give it a 5. Like, I don't remember it having an especially good plot or anything. I don't remember the plot at all, in fact. This was a purely body experience for me when I played it. It let me think here. Here, let me just double check X-Men Legend. That's the one I'm thinking of, right? Yeah, it is. Okay. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't think I have too much to say about X-Men Legends. With it, you play as Wolverine and you attack robots, you know? Um, um, I yeah. And then for me personally, I know I just talked a lot about how awesome it is, but honestly, like it is pretty mid. Like I would never recommend it. I don't think. If somebody really wanted to play a good X-Men game, then this is probably where I would go. But I'm not like super. I'm not an X-Men like diehard. I I like X-Men, but that's maybe as far as I would go. So yeah, a 5. Um, I okay. Halo 1. Oh man, this one's tough for me. I mean, for sure. Um, well, here, I guess other Halos exist. I'll give it an 8. Um, I think that the walking is a bit slow, but otherwise, it's just an immaculate first-person shooter experience. You know, it's got a great level design. It's got great weapons and enemies to fight, and yeah, it's peak first-person shooter campaign design. Now, I before I talk about anything with Halo, I need to say that I didn't really experience the multiplayer. I'm much more of a campaign kind of person, you know. And Halo 1 goes at an 8. I also should say that I worked on a Halo game. In a past life, I was a game tester, and I worked on Halo Infinite. And to prep for that, I played the Halo games. So I have a more personal experience with the Halo games. And I think that there are better body experiences for Halo, but Halo gets to be an 8, whereas other Halo games might be higher or lower. But I'm sure we'll get there eventually. Okay. Mind, I think it also gets an 8. Well, I'm going to give it a 7, actually. I think it accomplishes everything it sets out to do and more. And it like reinvents a lot of stuff. But I feel like in retrospect, it isn't that like, it no longer stands out anymore, if that makes sense. It's a great game with a lot to enjoy about it, but it's a bit rote now, I would say. And I think after the flood happens, it's a pretty predictable story. Though the flood is a very great twist on things. Very much appreciate that. So I think 7. Well, maybe 8. Yeah, I'll give it an 8. That feels more correct. And then personally, for a long time, I really didn't like the idea of Halo. When I was younger, I might have put it at a 4, maybe even lower. But I think it's grown on me a bit. It's still not my vibe. I think I'll also put this at a 5. It's no, I'll put it at a 4. Halo 1 is cool, but I much prefer later Halo games. And both like in aesthetic and in gameplay, and like it's a trendsetter. It's got great gameplay, but it's not my jam, you know? Okay, next. Dungeon Fighter Online. Here, I need to take a second. I've been talking for 20 minutes straight. Okay. DFO. So this is just pure chemicals right here. I think I'll put this at a 10. It is a if there's anybody who doesn't know what this is, it is an MMO, or like a lobby based MMO, like Phantasy Star or Dragon Nest, if anyone remembers that one. And you pick like a fighting game archetype, and you go and you fight or you do beat 'em up stuff and fight monsters and do combos and all sorts of stuff. Sorry, there's a person outside with a microphone. Okay, they gone. But yeah, it's a great body experience. You get to do big combos, and you get the dopamine pull that you get from an MMO. It's awesome. Great time. However, it is a pretty manipulative, horrible game that is poorly translated from, I think it's Korean. I'm pretty sure it's Korean. It's been a minute. Yeah, I can't justify putting it higher for the mind category. It's and it's also like really manipulative in how it whatchamacallit like monetizes itself. I don't like it in that sense. And then for like I'm a big fan of it. I think it's a lot of the mind stuff really gets in the way for me, but if I ever have time for it, I wouldn't mind going back to it. But like I wish there was a less shitty version with like weird Nexon problems attached to it. I hope that someday there is a game that tries the same idea but better. That I would love that. That would be a dream game of mine. Okay. So Peggle. Oh my god. How do you rate Peggle? That's a 10 on 10 for body, obviously. Like tell me you haven't gotten the end of a stage on Peggle and the like all the effects and music and everything, and that's just not like the best experience you've ever had. Like, what do you want me to say? I don't know. Okay, so there isn't really like I don't know, man. I give it an 8. It doesn't have like a plot, but it's not trying to, right? It's just Peggle. Sorry if I have the hiccups. I just ate. But it's just Peggle. Like what? It's not like trying to be, anything more than this, right? I'll give it a 7 for that. Like it's just Peggle. It's not failing at anything it's trying to do. It's accomplishing it. Okay, and then I love Peggle. I think it's great. I like its aesthetic. I like the weird community that it's kind of built up over the years of like mods and stuff that are just really strange. I like Peggle. What's there to say? It's a good time. It's a very honest game, and I like that recent games have tried to do what Peggle does and take it for its own spin. It's great. Okay, next. FIreRed.LeafGreen. Oh my god. Okay. How do I rate that? I find it to be, so gameplay wise, I maybe put it at a 5. Like, I think, here's my hot take. I think Gen 1 is not good. I think it was the experimental phase and seeing what works. I think it's just okay, man. Gameplay wise, I think okay. I need to give it more appreciation. This is not my personal opinion yet. This is this is the body, not the soul. I think Pokemon is like really addicting. I think as a concept, Pokemon is great. I think that FireRed and LeafGreen is not as good as other Pokemon games. And for that, I'm going to give it a 7 in body. You know what? Okay, so I'm thinking about like where am I gonna put Emerald and where am I gonna put because like Emerald is like the direct competitor for this game because it was also the Game Boy Advance one, and I think I would put that at an 8. Well, okay, no, they're gameplay wise they're like the same thing, so I think I would have to put them in the same spot. Um, I okay. Yeah, 7. 7 feels right. It's collecting Pokemon is awesome. Battling Pokemon I think is not as good as uh or unless you're doing it competitively in a 2v2 format. Um I that's how I feel about it. As for the mind, I think that I appreciate red and blue a lot more than I appreciate fire red leaf green for this purpose. Um, because it like that was like the big innovator, right? I think narratively it's not doing anything crazy. I think like aspirationally red and or fire red leaf green doesn't do anything that insane other than being just good versions of the originals, which are like really broken messes at the end of the day. So like I would put I have never really personally went through the original red and blue, but I would put that as a body experience at a 4 because it's like really rough, and then a mind put that at like a 7 or an 8 just because of how smart it is. But I think I have to put Fire Leaf Green at a 5 for mind. And then for personal taste, I'm not a fan. I think I've just outgrown Pokemon. When I was younger, I would have definitely put it higher, but I think I have to put it at a 3. I want to like it more. This is turning into the I wish I liked it more category. Okay. Um, I do kind of wish I had a 1 for these things. For mind and body, just as an example. But anyway, I guess I'll get to it later. Okay, Sanctum 2. This is a great experience. It is a first-person like tower defense game, where you things go in waves and you have to shoot them. I do find that it I find that it gets a bit boring over time, but I think it's a great time, especially if you really like tower defense games, which I do. I'm a big fan of tower defense. Um, I I think I'm gonna give it. Actually, I think I'm gonna put it at 6, and I'm gonna put it at 6 because I find that the first person element, the like shooter part, is not all that engaging. Um, I I because the enemies are moving in a predetermined line, it's not like you're aiming is a factor. And because aiming isn't really a factor, it begs the question of why it's in first person, you know? I like I'm thinking about Orcs Must Die and how that's a third person game. And a lot of that is because you're setting up these elaborate traps and stuff and using like spells and stuff that aren't necessarily aiming related. Like you don't have a machine gun in Orcs Must Die, and that's for the best, right? So I think I'll give it a 6 for that. Mind, I think it's kind of rough. I don't know what the game is about. I'll be real. It's it's out to do what it does and it does it, but like I don't know. It feels unambitious. It feels I like its aesthetic a lot. I think it's cool. I think it's well realized, but I don't. There's no narrative to speak of, in my opinion. Actually, here I'm gonna give it a 7. I changed my mind on that. Okay. And then my personal taste, I think it's a 6. It's all right. It's a good game. I would like to go back to it at some point, but it's it is what it is. It's nothing crazy. Lukewarm on it is what I'll say. Okay, Dice Wars. This was. Let me just make sure. Yeah, this game. So this is just like a basic Flash game. It all you really did was it was risk basically. Your dice were your units, and when you moved them, you'd roll that many dice, and if you won, then you won. And it's pretty straightforward. I mean, like it's a good time. I'll give it a 5. I think there are better strategy games, but it's not trying to be the biggest grand strategy thing in the world. It's just a quick flash game that you can play with a friend if you want, or against the computer. So it's 5. Mind, it's derivative, but it's accomplishing its goals. It's not like like there is no narrative, and so I can't judge it based on that. And it's based off of an existing thing, so like it isn't the most original thing in the world, but the fact that it's a flash game that you can just play for free means that it's just it's decent, right? It does what it does, and it's for kids to goof off on the computer and play during your computer science class or whatever. Solid 4. And then aesthetics, I like its aesthetics. I'm a big fan of flash games. I think they're underappreciated. This isn't anything crazy, but like the distinct colors helps sell it, and it's it's all right. It wasn't my favorite flash game. I'll say that. I remember it just being good. Okay, another flash game, right? Yeah. Oh man. Okay, so this game, it is like you have your base on the left, and your enemy has their base on the right, and over time you build up money, and you spend the money to make units that just kind of slowly walk in a line towards the enemy base, and whoever can defeat or send enough guys at the enemy to make them lose their base life points loses, right? The twist was that you could also spend like as you kill your enemy's units, you can level up, and you go to like the next age in history. So like you start out as cavemen, and then you get like knights and that kind of thing. So I'm trying to think. This game is bad. Let me just say that. It is a bad experience because you just you click on the best unit you have, and then send them out, and hopefully that beats the enemy, and that's all there is to it. It's not a good experience. It has it plays the same song over and over again, and it's a very short loop, and it's really, really rough in quality. Not a good game. Not a good experience to play, rather. It's extremely in fact, I'm going to give it a 1. I'm going to give it a 3 for gameplay, and a 1 for for mind, because it's the most brainless thing in the world. But for soul, I think this game is just, it brings back a lot of memories, man. This is nostalgia. Man, that song is burned into my brain. The it's great. I love it. It's so bad. It's perfect. It gets a 7. Okay. Jurassic Park Arcade. Okay, let me. Yeah, you know this thing. You've seen this thing. You've been there. You've been inside. It's a first-person shooter on a wild ride. You shoot dinosaurs. It's great. It's it does exactly what it wants to do. I'm gonna put it at 9 because I think that there are better first-person shooters in arcades. But it's peak. It's peak. You shoot dinosaurs. It's great. You get into a little box and you shoot the dinosaurs. What's there more to say? It's great. For Mind though, I like other first person shooters. I think there are much better first person shooters in the arcades. I think it's pretty light on mechanics. I think I'm not a fan of corporate, like based on a movie stuff. It definitely docks points for that. But I think it does what it does really well, and I can't really shake a stick at that. For my personal taste, I don't like Jurassic Park. I think Jurassic Park is lame. I am gonna give it. I'll give it. No, I'm gonna give it a 2. No, I'm gonna give it a 4. I'm not gonna give it a 3. No, I should give it a 3. I don't know why I said that. Yeah, I don't know. Jurassic Park's not really my thing, but if a friend asked me to play it with them, I would. It's all right, Okay. Mugen. Oh my god. So if you're not familiar, Mugen is a free open source fighting game almost. You can make your own fighting game with Mugen. It's an engine basically. It's like this is an easy 10. It can be, well, it's a pretty jank engine, I would say. I'll give it a 9. But it can be any fighting game you want it to be. And that's awesome for that reason. For Mind, it's slop, Salty Bet lives and dies off of Mugen. And Salty Bet is slop, but it's good slop. I'll put it at a 3. I think it's as slop as Borderlands 2. I think that's true. Okay. And for the Soul, I love it. It gets a 9 for me on the slop scale. It's super dumb, but it's got that perfect indie, but kids on a playground arguing about who would win, Goku or Superman vibes. It's great. I love Mugen. And there's some incredible stuff that have come out of Mugen. And yeah, no, it's great. Okay. Monster Prom. I mean, it's a dating sim. It's hard to put, it accomplishes everything it wants to, but it's still kind of a dating sim. I think I'll put this at 6. I think mechanically it's fun, but it's hard to, actually I'm going to bring it up one more, because of the multiplayer aspect to it. I think it makes for a really fun experience. Mind, I think it's really well written, and it's a very nice time. I honestly, it's been a long time, so I'm not remembering everything about it, how it worked and stuff, but I remember it being a well-designed game that is funny and accomplishes everything it wants to, and it's got great art and good vibes. I've always wanted to try some of the sequels, but I never really got around to it. Monster Prom, I like its aesthetic a lot. Its humor doesn't really do it for me though. I remember it having some good jokes, but it just not really hitting on others. I want to like it more than I do, but I think I just have to play some of the sequels. I imagine that they just got better over time. So I'm going to put it at a 6. Yeah. Okay. Idle Showdown. This is a fighting game based off of Hololive, I think. But it's it's a VTuber fighting game. It's great. It has some really fun mechanics with some there's some jankness to it, but I think for that reason I'll put it at an 8. But like it's a good time. It's well polished, and it everybody has some stuff that you can do in it. It reminds me a lot of some of the smaller anime fighters that came out, like your whatchamacallit, Nitro Plus Blasters. It reminds me a lot of that. Great game, especially for an indie experience. Now I'm not a huge fan of Hololive personally. I think that like that stuff is kind of strange. Like the corporate side of VTubing is a little weird for me. But I mean, like, it's not the most deep fighting game either. It's just kind of like there's some characters that are kind of busted and characters that are pretty weak. But it's it's a good time. It's mechanically simple, and it's it's good. And then personally, I don't want to play. If I was asked to play it with somebody, I would, but I don't intend to ever come back to it personally. But yeah, it's cool, but not for me. Okay. What's next? Shift. What was that? Is that the puzzle platformer? Right. Yeah, this game. I love this game. So this is a puzzle platformer in which that was a Flash game, in which the game is black and white, and you play as like a stick figure, and you can switch from black to white by like merging into the floor. It's I gotta grade it on a scale. Like I remember the platforming be kind of jank, so I'm gonna give it a 6. Not the most compelling. I remember the puzzles being really well made, but I remember it being a bit clunky just because it's a Flash game. So I'm gonna give it a 6 on body. Mind, I think I have to give it lower just because. Well, no, it was pretty smart. I'm also gonna give it a 6 on the mind. It's a smart idea made for a Flash game setting, with a good gimmick to it that makes it work. And it's hard to hate it. I mean, like aesthetically, it's pretty straightforward. It does everything that it being like the perfect Flash game of like you play it, you enjoy it, it does its gimmick, and then when you're done, and you move on. I think that's great. It's fantastic. It doesn't have to be more than a 6. It's not trying to be more than a 6. And that's okay. Dauntless. Oh man, poor Dauntless. I'm gonna grade it as I played it when it came out, and not how it is now. I did not play it after they ruined the game, but I remember I remember it being good. I'll give it a 6 also. It's a free to play Monster Hunter clone. And it does its job really well. I mean, like, it's not as good as Monster Hunter regular, but like, it's really hard to be that good. Like, Capcom are legends for that kind of stuff, right? But like, as far as a free to play Monster Hunter clone goes, it does its job and it does it well, and it's very fun to play. Mind, I think. Let me think here. I think I'm also gonna give it a 7 for the mind. Well, no, it doesn't have any like plot to speak of. Like, okay, Monster Hunter, ignoring Wilds, didn't really have a plot, or it didn't really focus on the plot, but it was there and it was engaging if you wanted it. Like, it was like happening in the background, right? But I feel like its free to play mechanics kind of held it back. I think I think I'm talking myself into a 5 for it. It was ideally you would play a different game if you could. If you were stuck with free to play, then Dauntless is what you played, right? But I think that there are easily better Monster Hunter clones, and Monster Hunter is much, much better. And I think that you can spend your time in better places than Dauntless, especially now that it's very much dead. But and then personally, I didn't like its aesthetic. It kind of helped me back from enjoying it. I'm gonna put it at 2. I did not want to play it more than a couple missions, but it was cool that it existed and it was working as well as it did. And it was cool that it was the on the Switch. I think that was really nice. That helped it a lot. Okay. What's next? Wakfu. Okay. So I never got that far in it. I remember really thinking it was cool, but I love the idea of a isometric MMO that's turn-based. Turn-based MMO is always interesting to me. And I remember it doing really well. I'm going to give it an 8, I think. Its combat worked really well, and MMOs have kind of a leg up for the body section because you've got the capacity to just grind and enjoy yourself in that flow state kind of way. And it gets an 8 for me. I like that you had a whole bunch of different character customization options that were really fun. Good time. Here. Give me 2 seconds. I want to just make sure that my audio sounds okay. I have not checked that in a minute. My volume's all turned down. Let me fix that. Okay. Yeah, it sounds fine. Oh, it's funny. You could hear the music from my headphones for a second there. All right. Let's go back to it. Okay. All right. So where was I? Wakfu, right. So yeah, I give it an 8 for gameplay, or for the body. It's good experience. For the mind, so I don't know how to judge this one. I never got involved in the Wakfu universe. I never watched any of the animes or anything like that. But I've heard things that good and I've heard things bad. I don't know enough about, and I never played enough Wakfu to really know how good that category is. So I'm gonna put it at a 5. Aesthetically, I think it's great. But yeah, I mean, I wish it was less chibi, I guess. I think it's cool and I like the Eastern influences on it, but I don't know. Not 100% my vibe. I felt like it was a good like it feels like a kid's game. Does that make sense? It's a cool game, but I think it's not for me. Maybe I should put it a little bit lower then. Yeah, I'll put it at 5. Okay, Clunky Hero. This is a game I played recently, actually. And I wish it was better than it is. The gameplay is kind of rough. In fact, I'm gonna give it a 2 for the body. The act of playing it is like really rough. It's a Metroidvania where you play as like a dude with a bucket helmet on, and it's supposed to be funny, but I found that it kind of wasn't. I found the experience to be buggy and the combat to be pretty bad. So I'm gonna give it a 2 there. And then Mind, I appreciated what it was trying to do, and that it was like it had an interesting aesthetic that I bought into, and it had I like the idea of a comedy Metroidvania, but I think a game like Guacamelee did that much better. But obviously, Clunky Hero doesn't quite have the same ambitions that that game did. So I give it a 3, and I would put it lower if it weren't for its uniqueness and its aesthetic. And then personally, I really wanted to like it, but it was just kind of frustrating. I give it a 2 for that as well. I it does not fill me with joy to play it. Here, let me just pull it up. Oops, not that. But like that it's got an interesting aesthetic going on, right? Like it's got whatchamacallit, vibes of like your medieval paintings, right? But and like the character looks funny, and I don't know, there's potential here, but I just feel like it didn't have it. Oh yeah, it had this like Pokedex kind of thing where if you killed the same enemy a number of times, you would fill out more information about it. That was an interesting mechanic. I still don't think I'm gonna move it though. But yeah, I wanted to like it more than I did, but yeah, okay. Pacific Drive. Oh man, I think I'm gonna give the body experience a 6. It's a game where you drive a car through through Olympic area in Washington, and it's very pretty game. But I was kind of disappointed to find out that most of the game was car maintenance and driving around and picking up stuff, and like driving away from stuff was cool. But I don't know. I wanted the gameplay to be more than it was in that regard. It works, but its car maintenance wasn't what I wanted or expected. I think if I appreciated the car maintenance more, I would rate it higher, though. I think it has a really interesting plot. I think it's very beautiful, and it has some interesting stuff going on gameplay wise. If it were a less sim-y, I think the body experience would be better. And then personally, I love the Pacific Northwest. What did I put it? I put it at a 9. I'm also putting this at a 9. Maybe I should put it at a 10. I really love. Okay. As I've said, I hate the American desert, but I love the rain and the Pacific Northwest. They're kind of yin yang to me, or opposites, I guess. And it does me a lot. You know what? I'm gonna put it at 10. I want to play this game more just because of the setting. And like it carries the whole thing for me, and I can get used to the gameplay. I think I can get over my weird opinion about it. So yeah, it gets a 10 there. Oh man. All right. Voice is starting to die a little bit. I will take a break if my voice dies. Okay. Super Mario RPG. What a classic. I think it gets a 9. Like, I think its RPG mechanics are very simple, but that's what it's trying to do, right? It invented the real time timed button press thing that RPGs have. It's brilliant. It's great. And the in-game platforming was pretty cool. It's great. The narrative is pretty good, all things considered. I think it's a bit overrated in some regards. I think I'm going to put it at a 7 for that reason. It is a very meaningful and historic game where two of the biggest companies came together and made a game that was a combination of the two. Them being Square and Nintendo. And they really did make a Mario RPG with full platforming and full RPGing that you would expect. I just think that they could have done a bit more, I don't think so. The actual experience of playing it is amazing, but I think that if the game had more RPG elements, it would have been better for it. And then personally, I I like other RPGs more. It's good, but I I would rather play something else again. I'll put it at 4. Um, yeah. Okay. So did I see Baroque? Oh heck yeah. Okay, so Baroque is a first-person dungeon crawler. Um, and it's a roguelike first-person dungeon crawler. I played the translated PS1 version relatively recently, and it's fantastic. It's amazing. What a cool game. That gets for body though. It's tough because no, it's a very simple game. You walk around floors and you swing your sword at things or whatever you've got on you. The actual gameplay it's okay. I think I'm gonna put it at a 6 for body. Yeah. For mind though, it's brilliant writing. It's got some really interesting concepts going on. This gets a 10 for me. For that. It's one of the earliest 3D roguelikes. It's especially one of the earliest first-person roguelikes nowadays. In that it combined the old dungeon crawling style of your Ultima Underworld and mixed it with your roguelike elements, but then set it in a crazy post-apocalyptic sci-fi setting. It's awesome. It's so cool, and more people should play it. I found it to be too hard to really enjoy, but I love the aesthetic, and especially the PS1 version is so cool looking. I think I'm gonna put it at a 9 for that. I would like it more if there was I don't know. I felt like if I had some kind of roguelite elements that let me get stronger between runs, and also so part of the mechanics is that you get mystery items that you don't know what they're going to do until you use them. And I always kind of hated that. It's my main criticism of The Binding of Isaac, for example. So I think those things kind of hold me back from putting it at 10. In fact, I'm going to put it at 8 for that reason. I love the aesthetic. I think the gameplay is fascinating. I think the story is bizarre and really interesting, but there's just some weird gameplay stuff that I can't really get behind. Even though they're perfectly fine. They're just nitpicks for me personally. So yeah, Baroque gets an 8 for the soul. Chuzzle. So this is a PopCap arcade game. You move the Chuzzle, and then it's a tile matching game. Good brain chemicals. Doesn't do anything really crazy though. Yeah, it's not nearly as good as Peggle, not as tight. It is a very stupid game. I will give it a 4. PopCap games are really hit or miss for the vibes, and I think the vibes are atrocious. It's the weird eyes and oh man, look at this thing. I think that's rough. That's not very appealing, I don't think. And for my personal aesthetics, where did I put it? I put there it is, 4. Yeah, that makes sense. And then for my personal thing, I want it lower, man. It's just a weird one. I really like the match 4 style of game, or match 3, but this ain't it, man. It's not. I don't like it. Yeah. Okay. Live Alive. So I never finished this one, but I really liked it. I think I had some problems with it. I'll get there in a second, but I liked the grid-based combat. I wasn't really blown away by it though. I played the HD 2D remake of it, and I'd like to go back to it at some point. But yeah, I don't know. It's okay. And then for Mind though, oh, it's so smart. Like it's that's an easy 10 for Mind. It's just got like such a clever idea, especially for the Super Nintendo era. Like a brilliant game, ahead of its time by a lot. It just doesn't have the best gameplay, and I had some weird issues with it. I played the Distant Future one, which was great, but it has no combat, which was fine. I kind of just wanted to do it just so I could do it. And then I wanted to do the like Kung Fu one, which had a very predictable plot, and like the gameplay was like, I wanted to have like an actual RPG, but I just kind of got generic like preset level ups and stuff like that, and it just wasn't working for me. So I'm gonna give it a 5. A brilliant game that just didn't really do it for me. Yeah, 5. Let me close Chuzzle. Umihara Kawase. Oh, heck yeah. Okay. So this is a platformer where you have a slingshot, very much like Bionic Commando, but it was for the Super Nintendo, and it like I think the swinging just worked really really well. I think it's a brilliant platformer. And I think it's maybe one of the best platforming experiences I've had. So for the body, I think it gets a 10. For the mind, though, I feel like there's just not a whole lot to it. You know, it's a platformer. You do the platforming. It does its job. It's all right. I'll give it a 7. And then I really want to play. Where did it go? There it is. There was like a remake or sequel that I really want to play. So I'm going to put it in 8. But yeah, I think its aesthetic is really cute. I think the protagonist is nice. I think she's cool. Yeah, look at her. It's very, yeah. Look at that. It's so charming. It's great. But I want to at some point play one of the sequels that it had because they look great. Yeah. But it's hard to judge it based off that because, you know, I want to play more Umihara Kawase, so it goes at an 8. Okay. Oh, Wobbledogs. Okay, so this is a game I recently got. I found that the experience of playing it was pretty whack. I think I just was missing something because I knew that there's like a mutation thing, but I couldn't figure out how to get to that menu. I found that the HUD was kind of lacking. So it gets kind of a 4, but conceptually I think it's brilliant. I love a pet sim, and I think that this is like an incredible one. I do think that there should be something that you could have your dogs do that isn't just hang out in their pen and get experimented on. Maybe I just didn't unlock it, but I'm gonna put it at 8 because there was just because I needed something for it to do. And then aesthetically, I love it. It's so good. Actually, here I'm gonna put this at a 7. And I'm gonna put Wobbledogs at a 9. I think it's so fun and so cute, and it's perfect. I want to play more of it, and I just haven't. Yeah. Okay. Next, Front Mission 3. Oh man. So gameplay wise, it was okay. It's pretty straightforward. You move the guys and you shoot them, and that's all there is to it, really. I want Front Mission 3 to be at 5, but I want Dice Force to be lower than it. So I'm gonna move Dice Force down. Yeah. Mind though, this plot is like unbelievable. The amount of content in this game is unbelievable. Like there's 2 full campaigns in this game, and it's like they're all full length. You get like 100 hours of gameplay out of this thing. and it's all well written and really intriguing sci-fi narrative. Brilliant story. I think it's so cool. And I think yeah, I love From Mission 3. It's so cool. Its aesthetic is perfect. Its writing is excellent. It has this like fake internet thing that I'm a sucker for. If .hackgu being in there is anything to go off of, I love me a fake internet to scroll through and read stuff, read the news and things like that. I love it. It's so cool. I really wish that they weren't flubbing the remake right now. I wish that was going well, but it's not. Okay, so how many have I in? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Okay, so I've done 29. I'm going to do one more, and then I'm going to take a break. Now I've done a clean 30. Bubble Tanks. So this is a flash game where you you control these, like, you play as a bubble, and then, like, as you level up, the bubble gets more, or bigger and more complex. And you play this, like, bullet hell, like, thing in this grid that you're moving across and trying to expand as far as possible. So in that sense, it's kind of like a roguelite, or roguelike. Very cool, very fun game. I think it's really smart. It's very addicting to just kind of go in and go for it. I think I want Dauntless lower. Yeah, that feels right. But again, at the end of the day, it's kind of just another flash game. I think there's not a whole lot going on with it. Like, the upgrades are interesting, but like, I guess I'll grade it on a bit of a scale. I'll put it at a 5 for being a flash game and having the interesting stuff to it. And I have a lot of nostalgia for this game, but like, I recognize that it's like not the best thing in the world. I want to put it at a 6. I think it's cute. I think it's fun. I think it's got a lot of addicting gameplay. Where did I put this? 7? Yeah, that sounds right. Yeah, it's okay. Yeah, it's a flash game, so it gets bumped up. I love it though. It's super cool. Okay. Well, that's the first 30 games on the list. My throat is dying, and I would like to be able to talk still. So I think I'm going to stop for now. And I'll probably make this into a video at some point. Well, there's nobody watching the stream right now. If you're watching this now, then you're definitely watching my YouTube video about it. So I hope you enjoyed it. I intend to do a whole lot more of this in the future. And I am looking forward to making more of this tier list. I hope this format is cool and it makes sense to people. I think I think dividing it this way really allows me to express my feelings about something. I've always kind of found it frustrating reading reviews that are like, telling you, I have to decipher whether it's them giving their academic opinion about it or if it's just their opinion, or if their feelings. Is it their feelings or how, like, how they feel about it as a piece of art, you know? Like, it's the dichotomy between video games as art and video games as a product. And it's hard to tell which one it's being reviewed as. But I this format, I think, allows me to separate it into some interesting categories. Yep. Okay. My voice is dying now. Thanks for watching. See you next time. Peace.